Okay everybody, welcome to part 2 of this racing session at TeamSport Karting in Nottingham. Heading at, well, like I've just said, second session. As you can see, the guys on the left are just doing their brake test before they head out. We're in the same positions as we were for the start of the first session, so Ryan is just at the front here, Sam's behind him in front of me, and then obviously as you can see, there I am at the back of the three of us. So, I say, another brake test. They do this at the start of every session at TeamSport. Other tracks, I'm going to do it at the beginning of first. So, heading out to session 2, just getting a bit of heat in the tyres, test out the kart, how it feels like it's handling. Noticed it was a little bit slippier than the first kart that I had, but tried not to let it slow me down too much. Throughout the session, you'll be able to see on these first couple of opening laps, just the back end kicking out where it is a little bit slippier, a little bit less grip on the front and the back tyres compared to my first kart. So we're on our out lap at the minute. You'll see just coming up there's a person in the barrier already, just there. I can only assume what happened was they tried to overtake the person in front of them, and the person in front didn't. They actually went for a gap that wasn't going to be there as soon as they went through that little right-hand kick on the track, and so they went into the barrier instead. And basically, obviously, caused the yellow light. So same as the first session. Sam, as you can see in the red, she's gone straight past Ryan. I'm behind him now. I'm going to try and get past him as fast as I can. You will also notice in this second session that everybody else on the track is a lot more confident. Basically, after the first session and before the second session, when there's a bit of a gap, one of the crew, mainly the race director for our group, when everybody was in the bar area checking out their times, they gathered everybody around that wanted to, and they walked through the track with everybody racing. So they had a picture of the track layout up on the wall, and they went through braking points, where you want to be on each part of corners, so on and so forth. So you'll notice I think I don't overtake as many people on this session as I did on the first one. And as a matter of fact, I actually get overtaken by quite a few people as well, as you'll be able to see in a second. So for example, just here, there's Ryan. He's managed to go past me while I got held up with that green light. So you can tell he's getting a lot more confident, even though it's only his second session. Again, another yellow light there. Not sure how they quite got into that position. I assume they went for as somebody was alongside the person who was sideways. Didn't notice them there, and went to jump onto the racing line, and they actually turned themselves and got themselves spun around. And it's odd just how confident people become, only after their first session racing. So yeah, you can see like now Ryan managed to overtake me. He's a lot more confident than he was. I'm going to try and get past him again as quickly as I can, but I don't think it's for another couple of laps or so yet. One thing I have noticed is that, and you'll notice on the third session, tucking your head in doesn't make as much of a difference on indoor karting as it does on outdoor, because obviously indoor it is still air, supposedly, whereas obviously outdoor you have to compete with the wind and such as well. So I'll still tuck my head down in the second session, but you'll notice in the third session I don't do it at all. I don't think I tuck my head down behind the wheel at any point during the third session. So what I'll do is I'll leave you with a video. Again, I'll jump in with any commentary kind of as and when, and I hope you enjoy it. So guys, you'll notice I got overtaken there by somebody in a full black racing gear. That was actually the leader, the person who finished with the fastest lap in all 3 of our racing sessions. His name's Adam. He's a regular at TeamSport Karting in Nottingham. He's also heading to the British Indoor Karting Championships, I believe, alongside me and Sam. So Sam is aiming for the featherweight category. Obviously I'm going to be in the super heavyweights. Adam will actually be in the super heavyweights alongside me. He's towards the bottom of the weight bracket, whereas, well, I say the bottom, there isn't actually a top weight bracket for the super heavies. It's just 95 kilograms plus. There isn't a top weight, but he's definitely closer to the lower weight limit than I am, by just under 20 kilos. I think he's 19 kilos lighter than me. So he's most likely going to be my main rival, I guess you could say, when it comes to racing in the championships. Assuming I actually qualify and I pass that qualifying stage. So what you will notice in the video, this one and the one that follows, this is going to be part 3 of 3. Whenever he does go past me, I try to stick as close to him as possible and try and follow his lines. So this is my first time at the track, and he's raced here uncountable number of times before. Okay guys, so I'm going to jump in here because this is actually quite an interesting lap by me. I'm actually surprised myself on this one. So you can see we've caught back up to Sam thanks to the yellow lights. Obviously he's going to go wide here for the racing line. I'm just going to come up the inside. I do tap him a little bit, but I do make it past. This is actually the first time I think I've ever actually been able to overtake Sam, be it properly or not, on any track that we've been to before. So I was quite proud of myself with that. We're going to try and get past this guy as well once the lights go green, but this little bit of a kink in the track means that I can't actually go up the inside because he just holds a straight line rather than turning out to give me the room. Coming back up to turn 1, just point Sam on the inside because he's a lot better at sending it into corners than I am. It's one thing I need to practice next time I'm at the track is sending it up the inside to overtake people. It's not one of my strongest suits. I'm not actually used to being able to keep up with anybody that I race with. So it's definitely something I need to practice on. But I'll turn the microphone off here and I'll let you carry on watching the video. Okay guys, just going to jump in here because I want to show you, talk through what happens here. Basically you can tell the guy in front of me, just keep an eye on him as he comes through the up ramp. I'm going to send it up the inside here, so he's on my right hand side here, doesn't look over to the left before the corner, he hits me into the barrier. We get out okay, could have been a lot worse, especially with it being the up ramp. He could have hit me into the barrier to the point that I basically stopped, and once you're on the ramps it's really difficult to get going again. So it's just something that you need to take into account, like when you're coming up to corners and such. For example, he's done it again there. What he's done is he's come into the corner trying to overtake somebody. He's not actually looked as to where that person is in the corner compared to him, and he's just turned into that person's way and put them in a position where they can't do anything. So, for example, on that last corner, he did it against that person in the green suit. He went around the outside and just tried to cut back across the front of them. They didn't, obviously, when you are overtaking, just need to make sure you keep your line so stuff like that doesn't happen. But again, here, you can see I do. I keep my outside line, I give him enough room to come through there, which he does again. You can see he's there again on the left hand side. Yellow lights come on, so I have to let him go. And the next couple of laps are going to be trying to get past him, so I can hopefully get a couple more clear laps in. Okay guys, so that is actually the end of our second session. You'll notice we didn't actually make it past the guy in the blue suit. One thing we did do on this session though is we did set a new personal best. The fastest on the session in the last video was a 36.6 seconds. The fastest in this was a 36.3. So what we're going to try and do for the second session, which after the first session I said to myself, I'm going to aim for a 36.0. This 36 flat lap was my goal. So obviously you have to wait until the next video to find out if I do make it. Of course, following on from here, what we'll do is I've got some more aerial footage from this session, so I'll pop this in afterwards for you to have a look, just from a different camera angle as well. So if you have enjoyed, please like the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. It really does help the channel grow. Just having a little bit of a conversation with Sam about the session, talking about how it felt a little bit shorter, and thanks for watching.